So rule 2 for playing better golf is a continuation of what we talked about in rule 1, where I talked about how important it is to have the hands leading at impact. And I'm going to show you again videos of Tiger and Phil, and as well as Jon Rahm and Brooks Koepka and myself compared to Rory. Please make sure you're subscribed here to my channel. Click the button below, as well as the bell to be notified as I release new rules for playing better golf. You don't want to miss them because they're sure to help you improve your game so you can play your best golf ever.
And I like to keep things as simple as possible in my instruction. I want it to be simple to understand that we have this angle. It's a leverage angle. And when that angle is released is going to be when that comes into alignment with the leading arm. So when we have a straight line, so when the club catches up and comes into alignment with the lead arm, then it's completely released. And so we're going to look at that in both of the swings here of Tiger and Phil and a couple other top players as well. And you're going to see the club is catching up here. So if we draw a line now down the leading arm, we could just draw a straight line. You can see the club still lagging behind there. And as we get closer to impact, you're going to see it's catching up even more. But really interesting here, you'll see this only in the top players in the game, is that the club is not caught up at the moment of impact. So you'll see here, I'll draw a line straight down his leading arm, and the club is lagging behind, even at impact, so it's not released yet. And very important here, looking at Phil Mickelson, you'll see the same thing. Here's his leading arm, there's the club shaft, and we'll see it get into impact, or getting closer to impact. And you'll see even here, still not caught up, and into impact, straight line. Again, you'll see very much like you saw with Tiger, very much the same angle as well. And this is something all the top players have in common. But in my golf schools and the lessons that I teach, online instruction that I give, I don't find any clients that have this position here. And it's really not as impossible to learn as people think. In fact, I've taught a lot of golfers to do this, and those that are dedicated and do a few simple drills can and will learn how to do this, and especially really improve what they're doing. Most golfers in this position, the club would be way out here, totally released. Most golfers will have the club head passing the hands at impact. In fact, in this area here, you see Phil on the right, the club is actually, for most golfers, already in alignment with the leading arm. And when they get in here, the club's actually hitting the ball, something like that. In some cases, the better players actually get the hands up about even with the ball at release. But the problem with that is the club face is in rotation, and it's rotating very quickly after it's released. And that's what causes the inconsistency for golfers. And that's why the top players, you'll never find a top player that releases early, because it won't work, and it doesn't matter what method they're using. Now, my setup for impact method makes it easier to learn this because we're setting up on our impact plane and also customizing everything based off of where we need to be at impact. I'm going to show you a couple more players. So here we'll see Jon Rahm on the left and Brooks Koepka on the right. And you'll see again what we looked at with Phil and Tiger. We'll look at the same points in the swing here. Lead arm, here's the club lagging, lead arm, here's the club lagging. And a lot of amateurs actually get this part right. And the problem is the whole thing decays around here. So for most golfers, we're going to see in this position, you'll see the club already on the yellow line. When you see it with Brooks, the club's back here. We'll see with Jon Rahm, again, club in the same place. And again, most amateurs, the club would be on the yellow line, released. And for Jon Rahm, it's back about the same as it is for Brooks, and the same as it was for Tiger and Phil and the other top players. And it's really important to see this and understand this is with a driver. And so that's the reason I use this instead of an iron, that just to show you it doesn't matter what club or what shot's being played. We're going to see Brooks getting into impact here. And you'll see, take it back one frame. You see his leading arm here and the club back there. Again, roughly the same angle as you saw with Tiger and Phil. And we'll look at Jon Rahm here, and you'll see, let's call right there. Oh, that's okay. We'll take it. The ball's hit, but again, we're going to leading arm, club shaft. And so you'll see the club's not released until right after impact. You'll see Jon Rahm's released there completely, and you'll see Brooks Koepka here fully released after impact. And this is, again, it's critical to slow the club face rotation at the point of impact. It's what gets you a straight path, a flat spot, and helps you hit the center of the face, not to mention the parametric acceleration that adds club head speed. So it's really critical to learn this. We're going to look at a couple more swings. So here you'll see me on the right, and you'll see me, I'm practicing impact and making impact like the pros I just showed you. And then I go ahead and hit it with about a 3/4 swing. I'm 59 years old, and so I've worked on this for a while, but it didn't take me that long through this practice method that I'm using here. It didn't take me that long to learn how to do this once I figured out exactly how to do it. And you'll see coming into impact what we're looking for again, what we saw with Tiger and with Phil and Rory and Jon Rahm, and now with Rory on the left, we'll see there's leading arm, and you'll see club shaft lagging at impact. And I think I'm hitting a 6 iron or maybe even a 4-iron there. That's why the ball position's a little bit forward, so it looks like a 4-iron. And you'll see Rory coming in, and again, he's coming into impact, and again, you'll see club lagging. And as we get into impact, you'll see, again, that same effect here, lead arm, club shaft. And so you can see how the club's lagging behind, and you'll see it's possible. I'm 59 years old, and I learned how to do it. I've taught a lot of golfers through my online learning program and in my schools and private lessons how to do this. It just takes feedback and working in the right direction. You don't want to waste your time when you're trying to learn this. You need to be working on the right thing and making progress. And that's why I use actually the app that I did the comparison. And here's what I use for my online coaching. And again, it's very inexpensive, easy to use, and it'll help you improve your game. You can see here I'm totally released after impact. And Rory, again, you'll see also that same effect. It's clear those. You're always going to see this top players after impact.
And so, as we talked about in the Rule 1 video, we really have to get the hands leading at impact. And the reason for that should be easy to understand. But when the hands are leading, so if you pick up a golf club and simply move the hands forward, if you rotate your body a little bit, that's great. But look at the club face. As long as the hands are ahead and the leading arm is straight, you'll see a very stable club face with very little club face rotation. You also should see that it's a nice straight path at impact as well. So the club starts releasing in through this area, and as we're rotating, it creates a straight path, as it also creates a flat spot through impact. So as the club should be running into the ground, because we're rotating through impact and the leading side of the body is straightening, so the leading leg is straightening and the leading shoulder is rotating around, it's actually pulling the grip up, which creates a nice flat spot. So the club is just skimming along the ground here through impact. You might have heard a couple weeks ago a quote by Tiger saying that when he's flushing it, when he's hitting the ball the best, he doesn't take a divot. Well, that's how he did it, because he had a great flat spot through impact. And you saw in the Tiger impact video earlier that his hands were there and he's rotating through, and that's how we create that flat spot. It's also what enables us to hit the center of the club face, because with the hands, even with the ball, impact is low on the face, and if we tilt the club forward, then it's in the center. It's also, the fifth point is, as long as we're moving through impact this way, with the club lagging behind and the grip is moving upward, it creates what's known as parametric acceleration. It's actually accelerating the club head through impact. And that explains why some of these smaller guys or even kids can hit the ball 280 yards, and it's simply because they're using ground forces and parametric acceleration. So with those 5 benefits of getting the hands leading and rotating through the golf shot properly, I've created a series of drills that's going to take you step by step through how to learn that. I also help you customize the information so that you can have success immediately, and that's my goal, is to help you improve as quickly as possible. And that's why I offer my inexpensive coaching program online, where you can easily submit videos through a free app to me and communicate with me directly, and I guide you step by step through the process, starting with short swings. You get full access to all my videos in my learning program, which you won't find on YouTube. And it's a step-by-step learning program. Takes you through first learning how to move properly with my wall drill, and then short swing drills, moving to longer swing drills, as well as short game, and every aspect of the game where we can learn to make great impact step by step. You're really going to want to check it out at setupforimpact.com. In the next rule 3, I'm going to talk about setting up for impact and why it's so important to simplify your setup, and it's going to make it easier for you to hit great golf shots right away. Thanks for watching. Again, please subscribe here, click the bell for notifications so you get notified as the next rule is released.